Both proved their fitness by scoring twice in a midweek reserve match, ironically against Newcastle United. Graham Sharp and Kevin Richardson lose their places, though Sharp is the substitute. Also missing is Terry Curran, who's publicly voiced his discontent at being left out after making an impact as substitute in Everton's last 2 games. Newcastle keep faith with a side that's been unchanged since the start of the season. Steve Carney has overcome a hamstring problem. But Jack Charlton wants to strengthen his squad, particularly in midfield, an area weakened by Terry McDermott's dispute with the club, which now goes to a league tribunal. Today's referee is Colin Seal from Carlisle, whose last visit here coincided with Newcastle's last home defeat against Sheffield Wednesday in April. Newcastle United kick off on a surface slicked by heavy morning rain, back in front of their stimulating supporters after rather painful visits to Arsenal and Manchester United. Andy Gray in tremendous form, Howard Kendall was saying before the kick-off in the reserve game in midweek. Booked his place back in place of a very disappointed Graham Sharp. Everton, in fact, had a match last Sunday in Switzerland in which Sharp scored twice. The referee asking Neil MacDonald to retreat before taking the throw. Both clubs have had something of a schizophrenic start to the season. Newcastle with those 3 wins and then 2 defeats, whereas Everton lost their opening 2 games, and the referee straight away reaching for the notebook to record the name of John Bailey, who came in late. Bailey going straight through Peter Beardsley. Here's John Ryan. Both Newcastle fullbacks are of the adventurous kind. Saunders, who used to be a fullback himself. Carney, another defender who's pressed into midfield, with Newcastle being a little short of numbers in that department. MacDonald, Brown's gone ahead of him. Carney let it run and gets it back again, and Southall is able to slide out in front of Waddle. Was cleverly constructed by Newcastle. The dummy, first of all, by Carney, played back to him by Kenny Wharton, and Southall made the decision to go for the low ball played in, and it was the right decision. MacDonald. Midfield again under no real pressure. Here's Beardsley. Beautifully done, and now Waddle. Bracewell made contact with the ball, and now Waddle goes down. This time it's a penalty. Everton protest. I think it was Kevin Ratcliffe who slid into the back of Chris Waddle as Beardsley and Waddle, 2 great individuals, threatened Everton with solo bursts. Bracewell got the ball away from Beardsley, but then down went Waddle, and Colin Seal pointed straight to the penalty spot. And here's Peter Beardsley. It's 1-0. 12 minutes.
The scorer of Newcastle United's first goal,
confidently struck. Beardsley's 2nd successful penalty in the 1st division, and his 3rd goal of the season. Jack Charlton saying before the game that he was concerned that Everton were a hard side to break down. But Newcastle have got an early goal, and they owe it really to the individual inspiration of their 2 forward players, Peter Beardsley, who played his part, and Chris Waddle, who was brought down, cutting in towards Neville Southall's goal. Carney. And now Waddle. He's in the clear, in at Southall. Neville Southall presented a formidable frame to Chris Waddle. The Everton goalkeeper arrived back from World Cup duty with Wales feeling unwell. And he's been under treatment from the Everton club doctor, but he was at his sharpest end to deny Waddle. Saunders offering himself for the short one with Waddle. He can get by defenders on both sides. Saunders again. Rodo waiting. And Neil MacDonald on a bouncing ball couldn't keep it down. Newcastle United in full cry at the moment. Rodo making a nuisance of himself and just dropping a little too high for MacDonald's volley. Certainly Peter Beardsley and Chris Waddle not quite getting the service that they got in the second division when Keegan was around to help them. But here's Heath trying to provide service for Kevin Sheedy, who's back with a goal. 25 minutes, totally justifying the thinking of Howard Kendall, a player who has got into double figures in his 2 seasons with Everton from midfield. He's had a troublesome ankle injury. There was a real chance that he would not sign a new contract for the club this season, but they persuaded him to stay. He's keen to stay, and Everton fans will be glad of that, with finishing like that. 1-1. And Newcastle held their lead for 14 minutes. Kevin Sheedy showing again how useful he is arriving in scoring situations from midfield. Here's Waddle, though, for Newcastle. He's lost Mountfield, and he's so nearly restored Newcastle's advantage. So difficult for defenders to make a challenge when he's inside the penalty area. Waddle dragging the shot wide. For a tall man, 6 foot 1 inches, he really is very well balanced. There was some holding, it seemed, by Heath on Saunders, but the referee saw it the other way. And in fact, Everton were in possession, or about to be, with Peter Reid. So when the whistle went, it seemed certain to be for a Newcastle free kick. Instead, it's taken by Sheedy and put wide by Mountfield from a position in which he will reflect that he should have scored from. A disappointment showing then. Kevin Sheedy, again, so accurate. And Derek Mountfield, unmarked, from some 6 yards, putting it over the top. And Newcastle get a throw off Gary Stevens. John Ryan has dashed across to take it. The crowd, I think, aware that time is in danger of passing Newcastle by. Carney. Ryan gets in the cross, and MacDonald was climbing for all he was worth. And now Bailey losing out to Waddle. McCreary is in the middle, and Southall acrobatically scrambles it over the top. It wasn't quite, I don't think, where Waddle intended, but it nearly embarrassed the goalkeeper, who was conscious of McCreary arriving at the near post. The whistle is for half-time. The boos are really, for the Everton approach after Peter Beardsley had put Newcastle in front from the penalty spot after 12 minutes. Kevin Sheedy, who got 2 goals against